to Saturday.
Right from the word go, it was the perfect start. Did you sense some nerves in that Leeds side, particularly in their back line?
I wouldn't say that. I think it was the more where we started, the counter press, the way we had the desire to win the ball back high and create chances. That was what it was all about first half. And the same objective was to carry it on in the second. That was what the manager said at half time. I felt like we did that. Obviously, it helps when they've got a man sent off. It makes it a bit more easier. You have more space. But yeah, they kept running throughout. That's what they're all about.
What did you make of the challenge that saw Dan James dismissed?
I actually didn't see it. I haven't seen it. I wasn't looking when the tackle was made. I just saw, obviously, Cov on the floor after. I didn't know the ref was going to give him red. As I said, I didn't see the tackle, but no, obviously it's a tough one for them.
How pleased were you with then how you went on to manage the game? You've touched on it a bit already with a bit of a blip you've had and seeing out recent matches. So to go on and win in the style that you did ahead of this weekend, how big does that feel to this side right now?
We spoke about how big this week was at the beginning. It didn't start well, obviously, with the loss on last Saturday. So we needed a bounce back. We had a few days to get together as a group, speak within the group. Some truths that needed to be said, and we got that out of our system. And now this was a game where we could get going. We know what's coming up next. It's a massive, massive game. So I feel like this is a good step towards that.
Exactly that. Good stead, not only for a top four finish, but the small matter of an FA Cup final as well.
Yeah, it's all exciting. Speaking a bit about every game's a final, and the next one is one. So we're ready. It's time for us to try and win one.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So Chelsea taking that 3-0 win and the confidence that comes with it into the FA Cup final at the weekend. For Leeds United, it's still very tense at the bottom of the table. Were Chelsea just better tonight?
I think it definitely helped getting that early goal after 3 minutes and then having, a man sent off as well. Naturally, what happens then, the pitch opens up and you're able to control it a lot better. And they moved the ball really, really well today. Mason Mount was excellent. Lukaku up front was fantastic. They did really, really well. So when you've got these things and everything kind of falls into place for you, it's very difficult to play against a team like that.
And Graham, the quality of the opening goal for Chelsea was immense.
Yeah, I mean, Rafinha could do better here. He's trying to anticipate here. What if he thinks he's going to go square first time? And then he's shown them down the line, he's allowed them to pick out Lukaku, and then they're all racing back towards their own goal here. Reece James ends up with it. This angle doesn't show us it. But Mason Mount is calling for it, and he tells him where he wants it just on his right foot. And for me, he chooses the most difficult option available to him, Mason Mount. I think most people would have gone the other side of the goal, where most of the goal is, from this angle when we see it behind the goal. But he's chosen to go near post. It's just a fabulous finish, just quality. Watch him call for it, and he's telling Reece where he wants it. Look, just put it there. That's quality. I mean, what a boy this is. I think he's top class. And I remember a couple of years ago, Chelsea supporters doubting him. There's nothing to doubt about him. He's energetic, he's a workaholic, he's got great skills, got an eye for a goal, an eye for a killer pass. He's just a top player at such a young age.
And as you said, it was a real blow for Leeds to go behind so early in the game, but it makes it even more difficult when they're down to 10 men. What did you make of the challenge that saw Dan James sent off?
Initially, I thought it was a fantastic challenge. I thought it was brilliant. Clearly you won the ball, but it's the follow-through. The follow-through, under the rules of the game, consists of it being reckless endangerment of an opponent, So when you see it backwards in slow motion, right there, it doesn't look good. It's not good at all, and it's a little bit reckless of himself. It's more him showing passion and a little bit of frustration, and that's what we saw in the end.
It's reckless. He's off the ground. He's endangering an opponent today. We don't know, because he walked off Kovacic. So yes, he's not too bad. He's slightly off the ground, which will have saved him. But on another day, that could break someone's leg. That challenge. I mean, he got all his weight behind it. He's off the ground. He's going through him. Yes, he gets the ball, but that's not the criteria. The criteria is that he's endangering the opponent.
They've had more yellow cards than anyone else in the Premier League this season, with 96. There's 30. There's 3 red cards this season. 2 of them have come in the last 2 games, including Luke Ayling's in the last outing. Yeah. Is ill-discipline going to be one of the factors that could see Leeds in trouble and possibly being relegated this season?
Do you know what? I briefly touched on it. It's the passion being shown in the wrong way. And everything that's happened in the last few games, the Man City game, the Arsenal game, obviously tonight as well, we've seen Leeds United going behind. The frustration comes out, and players are trying to get in front of opposition players. They're trying to show the manager, listen, I'm in here for the long haul. I'm in here to do exactly as you ask. I'm working as hard as I possibly can. I'm doing it for the team, for the fans. And it's just a split-second blink of an eye. you know, it comes out in the wrong way. It's something that does need addressing ever so slightly, but you know, it's difficult because there is a thin line between showing passion in the right way and getting it slightly wrong. Today, that was definitely wrong. It was the wrong way. But there's an element of the physicality of the game that I don't want to see lost, you know. It's just got to be done in a sensible manner.
They'd only won 2 of their last 7 before this. Thomas Tuchel has talked about the disruption at the club and how that's affected the players. So there was a suggestion that maybe this was a good time to play Chelsea.
I thought this might be a good time to play Chelsea tonight. Cup final coming up. You know, one eye on that. But Chelsea were fabulous tonight. Fabulous.
And is this the difference in quality?
Yeah, class. Rhys James ends up with it here. He dinks this into Jorginho. Jorginho sticks it onto Mason Mount. That dink there buys Pulisic so much time. That, you know, the flick round the corner from Mason Mount, I'll come back to this young man, he's just top class. Look, just top class. And he sees it, and he's got the delivery. Watch this again. I mean, it just buys Pulisic all the time he needs, out of his feet, picks his spot, goalkeeper no chance. Again, Mason Mount and James, 2 young lads, best players on the pitch for me tonight.
From a Leeds point of view, in terms of some of the defending of those, there were difficulties with it, but they were also up against Romelu Lukaku, who seems to be hitting the form that maybe we thought he would do more often for Chelsea this season.
Yeah, I'm just frustrated he turned it up today. He showed great strength, great power, great ability, and his finishing ability. This was very unlucky, obviously, he was offside for this one, but he was a constant threat. You know, he's getting in front of his defender, very unlucky not to have scored that header, but you could see his positivity, his movement. He's in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately for himself, he was leaning backwards a little bit, the ball was a little bit high, but look, this sums him up. Pace, power, strength, managed to get the ball back onto his strong left foot. Very unfortunate not to have hit the target. You would expect him to hit the target in instances like that. But this one there, change of direction, but he's pointing where he wants the ball. The team are starting to buy into him now. They're understanding what to get from him. Mason Mount absolutely hassling the defender here, Llorente. Silly play from the defender, don't get me wrong, but you look at the attack here, 3v3, but Lukaku, 3 inside the box. I thought he overdone it initially. Took 1 too many touches, should have been a little bit more decisive in his finishing, but you know, that just shows the composure, the confidence that he's playing with. He's got a few goals in 3 games now. He's doing wonders.
I don't get it. I mean, he came out with something along the lines of they're not playing to my strengths. When he went in a huff, he said the things he said about Inter Milan, you know, and obviously the turmoil that Chelsea have been in with the change of ownership. But if you're a striker, all strikers just want the same thing. They want the ball delivered as early as possible and accurately. You run around, pick your runs, play with aggression. You know, I don't get it when someone says they're not playing to my strengths. He's in it. Yeah, I think this may say a bit about us going forward with this guy. Look, he's really happy there. And him and Zaya, I know they both 2 have been left out of the team, but they would appear to be really happy. He may have turned a corner, but I come back to, I don't buy him saying they're not playing to my strengths. Your strengths are, use your aggression, your power, what picture you're seeing in your head. You just want the guys around you that you're playing with to deliver it quick and early, so that's buying you a little bit more time. And he's got great players. He plays with some fabulous players in that team that will do that for him. So I don't buy him saying they're not playing to my strengths. I thought he'd be the difference for Chelsea this year. I thought he'd pushed them to Liverpool and City. But it's not happened. And he has to remain there and prove all his doubters wrong. He can't leave there under the shadow he's currently got over his head, or he turns up at the weekend and scores goals, which we obviously hope he doesn't. But going forward, I mean, he's got to believe his future's in England.
The final whistle has gone at Vicarage Road, and Everton have been held to a goalless draw by already relegated Watford, which is a result that will be of huge interest to watching Leeds United supporters and, of course, to Leeds United players and manager, who will be able to have watched the final moments of that game. So it finished goalless there, and what that means for the bottom of the table is we know that Leeds are still inside the bottom 3. They have 34 points. They're level on points with Burnley, having played a game more than them, and now they have played a game more than Everton, but are just 2 points behind them. Let's hear what Jesse Marsh makes of the whole situation. He's with Emma Saunders.
Jesse, another difficult game, almost right from the word go. How do you sum that up?
Yeah, it wasn't easy when we give up the early goal, and I actually thought, other than that, we had a pretty good start, and the red card obviously again makes it very difficult for us. Home crowd, just absolutely phenomenal again. And our focus right now, we're all gutted and disappointed, but our focus is totally right now on now doing whatever we can to prepare ourselves for Sunday.
You did speak to us pre-match about how much you needed to see a bit of stability out there tonight. So then to find yourself behind after a matter of minutes and then to have the red card instant, what was going through your head after all the preparations you'd made?
Yeah, it was similar to the Arsenal match, and where we don't really even give ourselves a chance to get going. But the guys fought hard. They never stopped. They ran and tried to play and competed for each other. And obviously, disappointing. But again, right now, we can't feel sorry for ourselves. If we get stuck thinking of negative things and worrying about too many why it happened and what happened, then we don't prepare ourselves for Sunday. So that has to be total focus right now.